All right. Much better. Okay. It works. Hey, y'all. Okay. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? All right, let's get into this. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afrozine. And today I'm reading for the beautiful, handsome collective. Hello, 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 collective. Thank you so much for joining me. You are truly appreciated. I'm so grateful for your immense support, your commentary, your shares, donations, tips, all that great things. Okay, before we get into this read, of course, don't forget to grab this copy of this book here, Wisdom Beyond Wounds. All right, readily available for purchase on Amazon.com. All right, just type in the title on Amazon and you'll see it pop right up alongside my other publications. Okay, thank you so much for your immense support. All right, let's get into this read here. Channel message here is you're untraceable and they're stuck. Please keep in mind that this is a collective read, meaning if you're not doing your work, if you're not doing your part and what you should be doing in your life, then this read is not going to resonate with you, okay? Okay, so again, channel message here is you're untraceable and they're feeling stuck. Now, the reason why they feel stuck here is because they cannot get a read on you. This is more so a physical read and also a spiritual read. So it looks like this person here has been trying to, we'll say, locate you or discover you spiritually because they cannot discover you physically. They don't have access to you. And normally when people will say utilize their gifts for negativity, they try to abuse it in ways to where they can more so slip underneath the radar, so people can't tell that they're using their gifts in that way. So from a narcissist point of view here, becoming untraceable is not a minor inconvenience to them. It's more of a psychological rupture within their mind, okay? Because remember, everything they do is within your mind. So predictability is the currency of control. And since they can't predict your moves, they don't have any control of you. So when they cannot map you, anticipate you, or have access to you, their internal stability starts to falter or flicker within. So untraceable means uncontrollable, okay? So a narcissistic mind or person studies patterns the way a strategist studies a battlefield, okay? They study your habits, they study your reactions, they study your emotional thresholds, and all of it becomes behavioral data to them. So once you move outside of those patterns that they're expecting for you to showcase, their strategy collapses. Okay. So an example of this would be, at one point in time, you could have been very emotionally responsive towards them, could have been arguing and fighting with them. You were quick to always over explain yourself, and you just stopped doing that. So because of that, they were able at the time when you were at one point in time, like over explaining yourself, or, trying to make things better or whatever. However, they were able to rehearse old tactics, guilt hooks, indirect messages, engineered run-ins, but yet nothing lands. So without them, without you being in the vicinity of them, they can't study you. You have to be there physically in order for them to study you. Not everyone is spiritual, of course, but for the ones that can resonate with this part here, you could specifically be dealing with someone that is spiritual, or they do spiritual things. Okay. Now, the reason being is because they don't want you to be aware that they could be into spiritual things, because they know that you are, or you have, let's say, some knowledge, inkling, or have some form of insight surrounding the spirituality or the spiritual dynamics as to how some things may work. They knew this because of the things that you may have said. You may be one to give premonitions. You may be one to give warnings as such. And when those warnings came to fruition, they realized that they were up against something much larger or stronger that they could not understand, or more so define within you. So it put them in a position where they felt that they should study you even closer, but more quietly. And again, the way that they study you is through reaction of things. Because when you would react to this person, of course, you would tell them the truth. And then in the truth of what you stated, it gave them the data and information that they needed from you to continue to subdue you, or make you remain in a stagnant or still position. Okay, so since you're not doing that, it's not working. So the panic is very subtle at once, or begins as very subtle, but then it becomes much more deeper than what they let on. It becomes more real, or into the reality. Okay, so their greatest fear is not losing you. Their greatest fear is realizing their formulas, or their outdated formulas, no longer works on you. It doesn't work. Your autonomy exposes their dependency. So control often disguises itself as independence. If you're not there, so you are the independent person. They know this. But in order for you to be codependent on them, you need to physically be there. That makes sense. So when you become unreachable, an uncomfortable truth surface. They needed access to you more than they allowed anyone to see. Okay, an example of this would be they build a lot of quiet rituals surrounding you. They tend to monitor you, checking your activities, asking mutual contacts about you, but behind the scenes, so that way you can't tell that they're asking about you to other people. And they'll do this in a form of, I like to say, or Trini people would say, they try to pick people's mouths. And that basically means that they're having casual conversations about you to other people, but behind your back, so that way it never gets back to you. This is why they tend to utilize spiritual practices in so many ways, shape, or form here, because they thought that you would not be able to see what they were doing, but you still were. Okay. Also, they build quiet rituals surrounding positioning themselves where your path may cross. So if you frequent a certain grocery store, or you frequent a certain movie theater, they know you live in a certain town or city. This is just an example, of course. And you thinking that everything is okay. You thinking things have died down. No, things haven't died down. They're just doing it quietly. So that way, when they want to catch you off guard, or with the element of surprise, because if they catch you off guard, let's say you're going to, we got Fiesta over here. That's a grocery store. Let's say you're going to Fiesta grocery supermarket store. And that's normally not a store that they will go to, but they heard from other mutuals, other friends, or whoever, that you frequently go to this Fiesta supermarket. And unbeknownst to you, you're at the cash out getting ready to check out your groceries, and then you just see someone that looked like someone from the past, and you kind of do a double take, and you're like, what the hell? So they're expecting some form of a reaction from you because, number one, you're not expecting or anticipating for them to be there. And then number two, they're expecting a form of a reaction from you. And when they don't get it, it's like, oh shit, you know? So it's both startling on both ends, but they know what they're doing. So once those sight lines disappear, a strange restlessness replaces their usual composure. So it's not any longing and it's not love at all. It's withdrawal. Okay. So your inaccessibility functions like removing things from like a structure that they so-called built, like a false structure that they built, that insisted it could stand alone. So if they created a false structure, a fake structure, an illusioned structure, there's no support. It's not real, if that makes sense. In their mind, in their warped mind, they think it is, but it's not. Next one is mystery reverses the power current. So when they understood you, they felt elevated. When they thought and assumed that they understood you, they felt elevated. They thought they had the keys to your mind. This is what they thought and assumed, okay? Knowledge created psychological height for them. This is your mind. This is their mind. And unbeknownst to you at the time, you were feeding them information. You were yelling at them. You were screaming at them. You ain't shit and you will never be. You telling them the truth about them. And they keep thinking, here, you keep feeding me more information about you. And it made them feel like they were smarter than you. This is how they assumed. This is what they thought. This is what they anticipated. That by you feeding information about you to them, that they hold the leverage or they hold the keys to your mind. And of course, that's not true. So when they understood you, or when they thought that they did understand you, they felt elevated in that small little space and time. The knowledge that you gave created psychological height. So they felt they were on top of you. Now the elevation flips. Now they're at the bottom and you're all the way up here. You were already up here. You were always up here, but yet again, you weren't aware of the tactics that they were trying to push in front of you. Okay. Somebody mentioned yesterday on YouTube that their book is blank. So yesterday I did a live surrounding the book of self, surrounding that these individuals here are always so keen and quick to give you all of the contents of who they are. And I have to disagree. I don't remember the person's name. They may come on, I don't know. But they mentioned yesterday in the comments that their book of contents was completely blank. And that's not the case here. If it was blank, you would have never received the information, the detailed, vital information in regards to who they are, to beat them, to subdue them, to destroy them, to whatever the case may be, if that makes sense. So any person that you meet in your life, whether they're a person of integrity versus a person that do not have integrity, everybody has some form of information that you can benefit from, whether it's from a positive standpoint of things, whether it's from a negative standpoint of things. So don't think just because someone is coming towards you and they could be very, they decide to exhibit ignorance or we'll say disdain or any other negative qualities. That's still research. That's still information that you can utilize and put into your pocket and then strike when you need to strike, if that makes sense. Okay. So an example of this will be someone mentions your recent success in a room they did not expect your name to enter, right? So people will notice the micro pause, the controlled facial being very neutral, and also clinical follow-up questions disguised as politeness. So yes, let's say the collective is successful and you guys are soon to be, right? And someone that don't really care about you, don't like you, got wind of your success. They don't like you, but they still need the information to figure out how they can stop you from becoming even more or further successful. So they're going to create some form of like a clinical follow-up surrounding the politeness, but it's disguised as, lies, or they're intrigued that how you can be so successful without them when they're the one that's trying to derail your success. So they're asking the mutual person, who? The collective? Well, how they do that? Oh, the last time I heard, they weren't doing well. Like, you see where that kind of conversation, how it goes. They're trying to derail, or they're trying to deflect your success despite evidence surrounding your success. So that person will say, or the narcissist will say, oh, well, I heard last time that they weren't doing well, or last time they were homeless, or last time they lost their car, whatever, however, here, just gossiping, dumb shit like that. Just to get as much information that they can from the person who are able to solidify or confirm your success. So internally, their mind races to reconstruct a version of you they can mentally contain. They cannot contain your success because in their mind, you are not created in a way for you to be seen as successful or to be perceived as successful. So this is why they're having the mental breakdown or the mental spiraling out of control, because mentally they cannot contain your success. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So every new detail contradicts the last version they archived. All of the mental space, or all of the mental, we'll say, information that they have created about you has been archived as something negative. That's it. That's all. So not only did you not just move forward, you move beyond their mental jurisdiction. Everyone in this thing called life has a mental jurisdiction. It just depends on the person's environments, their growing up, their experience, etc., etc. And dealing with narcissistic individuals, their mental jurisdiction is not very far. It's very short. It's very, it's not lengthy. It's like from A to B. You, on the other hand, your mental jurisdiction is pretty far. It stretches wide or wider, because you allow yourself to think outside of the box. So think of a jurisdiction in regards to like a county or city limits or things of that nature. And let's say, God forbid, a police officer pull you over and they'll say something like, and this is just an example, of course. Let's say you're going from one city or one town to another town. And maybe in one town, they allow you to have like tents, darker tents. But in a different town, you're not allowed to have the tents, right? So between that city to the other city, the jurisdiction is going to start to slightly change or shift. It can expand, or it can become very narrow. So it depends. When it comes to a narcissistic person, their mental jurisdiction tends to narrow, right? It doesn't go too far. This is it. This is all you're getting from them. So once you're able to successfully surpass the mental jurisdiction that they have created for themselves, now it's causing themselves to be in their head, because the last time they saw you, they mentally took a picture or mentally encapsulated you into a space that you weren't doing well. And if you're not doing well, in regards to how they see you, they think that they have won, and they have not. Okay. So people assume narcissistic personalities crave attention. Yeah and no, but what they crave, what they truly, truly, truly crave is legibility. If the things that they're saying is true, do people believe what they're saying about you to be true? They need for that to be legible or seen in a way that it comes off as true. If they can read you, then they can reduce you. If they can reduce you, they can position you. If they can position you, they feel safe. They feel safe when they feel or think that they have control over you. That's it. That's it. That's all. So becoming untraceable removes you from their psychological capture of their mind. Because remember, they take snapshots within their mind or psychologically to make themselves feel better that they have you ensnared within their mind. And nothing unsettles a control-oriented psyche more than realizing someone exists completely outside of their interpretive reach. You being unpredictable is not cruelty, at least for you. For them, it may seem like it is, but it's not. It is sovereignty. You finally freed yourself from the mental traps that this person tried to place you in. That's why everything they do is truly mental. This is why they've been trying to aim for your mind for the longest, because they want to break down, again, the mental jurisdiction within your mind. And in your mind, it's very vast, or it can become very vast because you're much more open to learning new ways. You're much more open to understanding many different meanings. You're understanding that there's not just one way to do something to be successful. There are many different ways to do one thing. So this is what you're realizing, or you have realized. They're not at that space. I don't think they will ever be. But this is exactly why you're untraceable and they're stuck, because they can't read you, or more so, the so-called data that they had before surrounding you, it's old, it's outdated. It doesn't exist. It doesn't connect to you. Thank you. It doesn't do, you know what I mean? It's not what they intended for it to be. So they can't get ahead of you. If you're not there, they can't get ahead of you. Now, where you come in here, you can get ahead. But while you're getting ahead, you're still aware as to what they're doing. So even though you guys are untraceable, they're not. They're untraceable and they're traceable and they're stuck. You're untraceable, but they're stuck and traceable. Checkmate. Hope that makes sense. And that's what's really mind-boggling, or mind-effing them. Because yes, yet, you are very untraceable. They're not. You know everything about this person, and they're trying to figure out, how do you know everything about them, and they don't know nothing about you. And again, you're nowhere around this person. So you, either unbeknownst to you, or you could be aware, you're truly putting this person in a downward spiral, because not only are they traceable, they're stuck being traced by you and they don't like it. Surprise, surprise. Man, surprise, surprise. Oh man, so this is why they're stuck here. Right here. Yes, this is why. Y'all understanding now? You can't, what's the word? You can't volunteer to be a bully towards someone. And then the person that you're trying to become a bully to realizes that you're trying to be a bully to them. And then the person, meaning you, are coming in and completely dismantling or destroying them trying to be a bully towards you. They can't get upset. And there's no reason to be afraid, if that makes sense. But yet again, they are afraid because not only are they stuck, they're traceable. Oh man. So with this card here, you see all the hands here, and this is you climbing up the ladder. They thought you needed them to climb up your ladder. You don't. You're the one that created the ladder. Why do you need someone else's help when you're the creation of your ladder, meaning you are the creation of your success? You're the one that's following the blueprint of self, if that makes sense. So you don't need this person's help climbing up your ladder because you're the one that created it, if that makes sense. Nonetheless, here, this person saw you climbing up the ladder that you created, and they tried to put their hand. You see the many different hands that are coming up the side of the ladder. They started to take away your steps. But that was a blessing in disguise. It really was. Sometimes when we are slowed down in life, it's for good reasoning. It's because that thing that is slowing us down needs more of our attention. Why is life slowing down in this way? And when life slows down in that way, it tends to become much more unnatural, because your life is not supposed to be at a slow pace, more of a steady pace. So if you're consistently moving through life at one point in time when life is just completely steady and going with the flow, and then it just kind of slow down, it's like a faucet, right? If you put the faucet handle up, well, then the pressure of the water is going to come out pretty fast, right? But if something happens to where, let's say you close the handle down just a little bit, well, then the pressure of the water is going to slightly change. So this is what you realized or understood, that something was not right. The pressure of your life started to slow down because you big pressure in a very positive way, of course. And this is when you realize that the person who was behind trying to stop your pressure is trying to stop your flow. You're understanding why things are happening the way that is happening, if that makes sense. And this is what they did not want you to see, but yet their hands or their fingerprints showed otherwise. So again, they're always going to give you the blueprint as to who they are. They are, whether it's right in your face, like right away, or it may take a little bit, maybe a little bit more time for you to see and understand why things are happening the way that it's happening. But nonetheless, they always leave evidence. They do. Whether it's in your face or not, they always leave evidence. Now, from this perspective here, the evidence that you were accruing or amassing from what they were showing you, it was not in front of your face physically. You had to sit in silence, which made you untraceable, for you to see why things are happening the way that it's happening. They can't do that. They cannot, which is why they are traceable and they're stuck. Hopefully that makes sense. This is why they're here now. This is why they're here now. Like an embryo. Surprise, surprise. Yes. You pulled a them on them is what you did. Untraceable means uncontrollable. A narcissistic mind studies patterns the way a strategist studies a battlefield. Your habits, your reactions, your emotional thresholds, all of it becomes behavioral data. All while them thinking that you can't see them. And you can see people in different ways. You can see someone physically, yes you can. You can see someone emotionally, yes you can. You could see someone spiritually, yes you can. You can even see someone verbally as well, yes you can. There are many different sites that you can learn how to tap into or become very masterful with. And they will show you who they are. Just pay attention. Again, there's not just one way to succeed at something. There are many different ways. Use everything that God gave you. God gave you the sight to see, right? Literally, spiritually, right? God gave you the gift of hearing, right? Feeling, The 5 senses. Those are 5 gifts that a lot of us take advantage of. 5 priceless gifts. If you have all those gifts, that most people take advantage of on a day-to-day. If you are seeing, are you actually seeing what you need to see? If you are feeling, are you actually feeling what you need to feel? Etc., etc. If you're hearing things, are you actually hearing the correct thing that you need to say? Some people just have words. And sometimes those words, it doesn't have any support. It doesn't have any meaning. Some words don't have meanings. Okay, for example, they tell you that they love you all the time. Anybody can say that towards you. Just because they say the term or the word or the phrase, I love you, it doesn't mean it's true. So are you actually hearing what they are saying to you? If that makes sense? How about your feelings? If they're telling you they love you, but they're not showing it, are you paying attention is basically what I'm saying. So again, the 5 gifts that most of us have, most take advantage of. Most don't see as being priceless. Hear, sight, see, touch, and taste. We use it every day, if that makes sense. Hey, Rita. They don't have that. They have the senses, but then again, they don't, because they don't utilize it in that way. So when they think that because they're out of sight or out of mind, you can't see them, think again. That's not true. You can, if you know how to use your gifts. So now that their laundry, their dirty laundry, is out in the open for everyone to see, they can't handle it. That's not your problem. That ain't your problem. Okay. They're trying to, okay. I'm pretty sure we've all probably at one point in time in our life had to go to a community laundromat, right? And when you go to the community laundromat, you're seeing many different faces, many different backgrounds, and you can visibly see that person's dirty laundry, right? Sometimes the laundry could be really, really, really dirty. And if you're paying attention, you may tend to see the body language of that person who's actually washing those dirty laundry they don't want you to see. So they may tend to position themselves in a way to where they may straddle the front of the washer and just throw it in real quick. Or they may tend to have a bag and it's super dirty and it smells. These are just examples, of course. And they'll try to hurry up and dump all the dirty clothes inside so that way no one can see or smell the dirty laundry that they're bringing in. That's figuratively speaking, literally, of course. But now I'm speaking figuratively here surrounding this narcissist. They're in a community setting or a laundromat, figuratively speaking. And everyone is seeing all of the dirty laundry that they have amassed. It's very smelly. It's very dank. It's very dirty. But not only can people see it, they can smell it. You're untraceable, but they're traceable. They're traceable due to the type of acts or the actions that they decided to make against you. Those same acts put them in a space where people can now see their dirty laundry in front of everyone to see, or more so community setting. Hopefully that makes sense. And that's what they weren't anticipating. Hi, Sunny. Hey, Deli. That's what they weren't anticipating. So they created the crime, but they're the crime. If that makes sense. They created the scene of the crime, but yet they're the one that is guilty of the crime they committed, the dirty laundry. They're the one that's spreading it wide and thin, literally and figuratively. They are. Hey, Timmy. So despite them trying to study your patterns, meaning your habits, you were studying their habits and they weren't even aware. Again, 5 senses. They don't know how to use their 5 senses. You do. And your 5 senses are much more keen when you're either in prayer mode or meditation mode. Yep, we got 5 senses to be consciously aware, because I'm consciously awakened right now. I'm awake. I'm talking to y'all as you're listening to me. So you're consciously listening and you can see me, if that makes sense. But subconsciously, you can still utilize those same gifts to enhance or master those same gifts that you use while you're walking around consciously, if that makes sense. They don't know how to do that, which puts you at a very, very high advantage and them at a disadvantage. So despite them attempting to read your habits, you were able to see theirs, but just in a different way. Despite them trying to read you for reactions, you also could see their reactions, but just in a different way. And so forth and so forth. They try to read your emotional threshold, how far they can go to say and do certain things towards you. You can do it as well, but just in a different way, if that makes sense. Again, there are many ways to do one thing. There are many ways to do one thing. They only know one thing. That's a disadvantage, a huge disadvantage for them, not for you. It's an advantage because now that you understand and aware that they're only doing that thing one way, then you know exactly how, now you understand. You're like, oh, that's what you're doing? Man, get the fuck out of here. All right. Now you can call it on cue like, that makes sense. You know what they're going to do before they do it. And yeah. So again, they're not fooling anyone but themselves. Okay? Thank y'all for the gifts. They're not fooling anyone but themselves. You see in color, they see in black and white. Okay. You see everything exactly how you need to see it in its vibrancy. They gave up the game to them. They created the game and they gave it to you willy-nilly. Okay. That's how you want to play this game? So you create a game to give the game away? Okay, shit, that's easy. Let them play the game. Let them play. They're so eager to play, right? They're so eager to put it together. And okay, I'm going to put this here and I'll put that there. Okay, yeah, and the collective never know. Yeah. Like a Beavis and Butthead. That's exactly what you were dealing with here. A Beavis and Butthead. And let Beavis or let Butthead do what they needed to do. And they did. Surprise, surprise. This is literally the blueprint here. They literally they gifted you who they are to you. They gifted you who they are to you. That's what they did. Where? puzzle pieces of this man. Yes, there were certain parts of them that wasn't found at one point in time. Yes, they came to you not whole. They weren't whole with self. Somebody making fried fish. Okay. You were whole. And they tried to take remnants or pieces of you to substitute what they were missing or what they lost from you. So the moment they started to chip away at you or started to take things away from you to place it within themselves, you realize, or they realized, that the pieces that they were taking from you, it did not fit them. So yeah, it's like you're sitting down and you're doing a puzzle piece or puzzle pieces, and you realize the pieces don't fit into the actual puzzle board or the actual puzzle. And then that's when you realize that something was off with them, and you look closely and you were able to put the correct pieces where they belong or where they fit. You're untraceable, but they're traceable. And because they're traceable, they're stuck. They wanted to play cat and mouse, right? They wanted to play a mind game, right? Okay, let's play. I'll play a mind game with you. You ain't gonna win, though. I stamped that shit. You won't win, but okay. This is why they keeled over in bed. Oh, shit. The collective got me. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. They keeled over because they wanted to put their nasty lingerie in front of everyone to see. That ain't your fault. That's their fault. You can't create a crime and then try to run away from the crime that they created. Come on, bruh. That doesn't make sense. Of course, there's always going to be some form of evidence left behind at the scene. If that makes sense. Surprise, surprise. They left it for you. They left all of the important, detailed, intricate pieces in regards to what make them them, what makes them tick, what makes them move, what makes them say certain things, how they react to certain things. They gave it to you freely. Free game that they don't know how to play. Tell me more about this surprise, surprise narcissist. So it say hidden. It says hidden. What did they hide from you? Anybody? Divine collective. They didn't hide anything from you. It was just a matter of time for you to see it. Let's not think physical. This is spiritual. Let's get out the 3D for a moment. Let's elevate a bit. 5D. We not 3D right now. We 5D. 5D is your gifts, your heightened senses. What did they hide from you? The gift is here. The gift. And that could be spun in many different ways. What gift did they hide from you when you already had the gift within? What gift did they hide from you if you carried the gift within? Not a damn thing. You see how the mind can play tricks on some people sometimes? And we all know that their mind is playing a lot of tricks on them, not you. They didn't hide anything from you. You were the gift. The gift that keeps on receiving. They poured into your gifts into your senses, into the way that you saw them, into the way that you heard them, to the way that you smelled them, you felt them. They poured into your gifts that they thought was hidden. These are people that we have to deal with on a day-to-day. You don't know how so irritating they are to me, that we have to sit here. We really have to deal with people with this low intellect of such on a day-to-day. They're subpar. The way they think, the way they move, their actions are so subpar. And it disgusts me that we have to deal with these type of individuals on a day-to-day. It's like, really? Like, you sit down, you're breaking it down, you're like, okay, you did that? And you thought you was, they think they're smart. How? That's why I keep saying, I'm going to go back to it. Stop giving away your power. Stop giving power to things like this, because there's no power in this unless you give it to them. And where are they getting the power from? You. Stop giving your power away. And another thing I noticed, yeah, I'm on the collective today. Another thing I noticed, stop saying my enemies. My or mine is possessive, meaning it's yours. And if you keep saying that's my enemy, well, there's a connection, an energetic bond or bind that you are creating between the my and the enemies. I don't remember where I saw that from, but I saw it from somebody else, and I don't remember who their name is. Of course, I'll give credit, but I thought that was such genius. I said, that makes a lot of sense. The word mine or my is possessive. It's a possession. And if you keep saying, oh, that's my enemy, well, then, yeah, they're going to always be your enemy. The enemy. Or call it it. So stop saying my enemies. Say the. All right, let's see what's going on with this embryo space. Narcissist, embryo space. Interesting. Huh. Okay. So, it's like this person revert back into their childlike space. So on the outside, they wanted to be this big adult. They wanted to be a tyrant. They wanted to, you know, rah, you ain't never gonna do nothing to me, collector. Ha, 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 yeah, ha, ha. That's them, right? Okay, whatever. But the moment that people saw them for all the things that they have done, they reverted back. So it's like the tunnel is here. So on the outside is the adult body. But there was like an opening or a back way or a back end to where they can revert. This is figuratively speaking, that they can revert back into the tunnel of like a childlike person or spirit, if that makes sense, because of the lies. So like they're running away from their adult self to revert back into their childlike space. And they use the tunnel between the two, between adult-like setting or space of self to a childlike space of self to run away from the lies. Hopefully that makes sense. So when they revert back or followed the tunnel back to their childlike self, the dirty laundry was exposed. They left it. They left the evidence of their adult-like self. They have two sides to them. How you see them is their adult face. And you could never tell, so they think, who they truly are. But behind closed doors, they're very childish. And they left that opening available just in case something bad happens or things don't work out. So they revert, oh, I didn't do that. Victim mentality. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. That's not me. That's not me. Now, if that makes sense, the tunnel between the adult back to the childlike state. And they're in the childlike state. And we all know when a child gets in trouble, let's look at a toddler. You told the toddler, don't eat that cookie, right? Let's say you walked away for 2.5 seconds. The little toddler gonna test your gangster, and you come back and eating the cookie. The first thing you say, hey, didn't I say don't eat that cookie? They're either gonna drop the cookie, they're gonna get startled, they're gonna drop the cookie and they're gonna run like hell. Or they may have the cookie in their hand and they're gonna run like hell with the cookie. But even so, the evidence is the cookie that you told them not to eat. The dirty laundry for the adult, for this narcissistic adult. They left all of their dirty laundry behind for you to see, if that makes sense. Man, I love teaching. All right, let's see about this ladder here. Oh, man. Teaching brings me so much joy. I swear it do. I love it. I'm so passionate about it. Oh, man. What else, Spirit? Talk to me, boo. Oh, man. It's like we're in the University of Clownery. And these clowns here want you to accept their invitation for you to become a clown like them. I would never be anybody's clown. I'm not wearing nobody's red nose. I ain't doing none of that mess. I'm nobody's clown. So I'm not going to integrate or hell, invalidate myself as a goddamn clown. I ain't doing it. Tell me more about this ladder, please. We have water. I'm going to look at water. You could be a water sign and you could be dealing with a water sign. But I'm looking at water here in regards to your emotions, okay? And this person thought, because yet again, let me use this first. You're so busy climbing up the ladder that you're focusing on you, if that makes sense. And they're on the sideline thinking and assuming that you can't see their little nasty hand. Again, it's like a little toddler. Say you put a little plate of cookies on the table. And you said, baby, don't touch these cookies. Okay, mommy, I ain't gonna touch it. Okay, daddy, all right. You walk away again. And then you come out the room or whatever you're doing, and you see that little hand coming up. They can't reach the table all the way, but they have a plan. They're gonna get that cookie. So when you're coming out the room, this is just an example, of course, and you're seeing that little hand reaching over it, trying to get the cookie. It's like this here. You were minding your business, scaling, elevating, evolving yourself up the ladder. And then they came along just subtly to the side where you can't see. This is what they thought here. Now, when it comes to the water here, this gives me emotions because they wanted you to be so flustered. They wanted you to be so upset and so irate that you would exhibit some form of an emotion, because water represents emotions, you know, waterworks and anger and feelings and things of that nature. And they wanted you to exhibit that because you couldn't either get your way, or you were very flustered or frustrated because you weren't able to continue to go up the ladder of your success. This is what they thought here. This is what they assumed they thought was going to happen, and it didn't happen in that way. All right, tell me about the dirty laundry. Tell me me about the dirty laundry, please. Dirty laundry. We have caregiver. It's in reverse though. Caregiver. Dirty laundry. Oh, let me drink some water. Hey, y'all. Caregivers in reverse. Dirty laundry. Okay. Since everyone is pulling away, okay. Since everyone is pulling away from the whole situation, they don't have anyone to help, like, take care to this dirty laundry. They're the one that created it. They're the one that wore it. They're the one that exhibited. They showed it. But there's no one there to help them clean up the mess. They were looking for a caregiver, more so you. You were at one point in time, we'll say willing or open to cleaning up this person's mess. But when you realize how messy they were, this is figuratively speaking, of course, metaphorically too, but when you were aware as to how dirty these individuals were, you left that pile of mess right there for them to clean up. And they didn't like it. So this is why they think you have to pay. Pay for what? What are you paying for? We got legal proceedings here. Okay, whatever. I'm going to take you to court. Please, heifer, please, please take us to court. Shit, please. They know not to do that. They know not to do that. And if they do, go back to my lives on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on YouTube, AfroZen8888. Make sure you follow me on YouTube so you can rewatch those older videos, because, baby, I give the gems every day. Make sure you catch them gems, boo. But anywho, yeah, so they're going to try to, if they think they're smart enough, they're going to try to use a legal proceeding against you. And, of course, it's not going to work, because they're just going to dig themselves in a deeper hole here when they realize the type of information that you have on them. It will be the most stupidest thing that they do if they decide to take you to court. Very, very, very unintelligent on their end. But hey, do it. Okay. Yeah, look, it's a imprisonment. Yeah, it's say imprisonment, but I'm gonna go back to my notes real quick. So if they take you to court, they will be in prison, and they don't want that. They don't know what you know, because you ain't saying anything. Even if you said things, they still don't know what you know, and that's what they're trying to figure out. Yet again, you're untraceable while they're traceable, and because they're traceable, they're stuck. Your autonomy exposes their dependency. Control often disguises itself as independence. When you became unreachable, an uncomfortable truth surfaced. They needed access to you more than they allowed anyone to see. So they don't have access to you. They're replaying the same old redundant, archived negativity that they have perceived about you. It's not true. It doesn't make sense, if that makes sense. Hold on, let me go back to this. They build quiet rituals around monitoring you. They think they're quiet, but they're not. They build rituals checking your activity. What activity? If you're not around, they can't check your activity, which is why they try to gang stalk you if you're online, trying to see where you live, if that information is available. The things that they can't do physically to you, they're going to do it behind the scenes, because they don't have the physical proximity to do these things towards you, if that makes sense. They also build asking mutual contacts about you under the veil of casual conversation. Hey, have you heard from the collective? hey, I haven't this and I haven't that, and you know, how's the collective doing? And they're trying to pick other people's mouth in regards to you. So it helps them to position themselves where you guys may cross paths. No, it's not going to work. It's just not. But this is what they do. Again, they're not as strong as people make them to be. The only reason why they're strong is because people give that to them. They give them the strength. And I'm not giving any narcissist any energy in the hell, any strength to make them stronger than what they are. They're not strong at all. At all. They don't even have all. So why am I giving my all to someone or something that don't have all at all, if that makes sense? I'm not doing that. All right, tell me about this card here, keeled over. So now they could be upset, take it how it resonates, because you're not paying attention to them. They think or assume, and it don't have to be true, but this is what they're thinking, that you could be dating, that you could have someone quietly, you could be seeing someone quietly because you're not giving them the attention that they normally would get from you. So now they're trying to figure out who specifically has your attention. It could just be you. You could be dating you. That's a real thing. I date myself all the time. I take myself out for solo lunches and dinners. I love it. I do it all the time. You don't have to date another person to feel happy, if that makes sense. But they think because you're not talking to them, you're not dealing with them, that there has to be another person involved. And that's not always the case. So take that how that resonates. Good morning, y'all. Take that how that resonates. But anywho, they're keeled over in bed because they just know. And they don't know a damn thing because yet again, you are untraceable. They don't know anything about you. They're just assuming. They're only assuming, again, based on, thank you. They're only assuming based on the mental jurisdiction that they have created for themselves. And I explained that earlier. Their mental jurisdiction is very subpar. It's lax. It's not a lot. It's very narrowed. It's very small. It's very intricate. It's not a lot of information within their mental jurisdiction, which is why they're so easy to read. They stay in this one little box, a little 1x1 box. And I think that's a lie. But that's how small their mind is when it comes to you, because they want to trap you in that little box. And then when you kick the out that little, get the fuck out of here. The box is so small, like a ring box. It's the perfect example. That got to be like a 1x1 or a 2x2. That's how small their mind is. And they want to keep you stuck in there. So that way you can never get out. Child, please. And you open up the box, the ring box, and like, man, and just punt that thing. Hiya! All right, let's see what else. Tell me more about the vivid color. Out to space, yes. Outer space, the vividness. It's vast. The colors in general is vast. You can put many different colors together and you can create a lot of different things. You can put blue and purple together, green and yellow, orange and brown, whatever. The colors come together to make a statement. If that makes sense, it's out of this world. It's like, wow, those are two pretty colors, or wow, I would never think to put those colors together. And I'm saying all that to say here, this is how your mind is. Your mind is expanding, or you are an expansion of your mind, or an extension of the expansion of your mind. So you're able to see things much vast, much bigger. So you think differently. You operate differently, of course, in a positive way. And they can't understand that. Because all they see is black and white. Tell me about the puzzle pieces. Puzzle pieces. Money. I'll take this one too. Burial. Okay. They put a lot of money into this to think that you would never solve the puzzle pieces or the puzzles in regards to who they were. That's what they did. And they were so cocky with it because they thought that you would never figure it out. They never buried it, meaning they never buried their plans. They never buried their tactics. They never buried their methods in regards to how they were going to do certain things towards you. They put it out in the open in a way that it was never really hidden. That's why burial is in reverse. But this person spent a lot of time, energy, and money to ensure that you never put the puzzle pieces together. And that was literally and figuratively, spiritually too, an expensive cost that they have to eat. And because the cost is so outrageous, the expenses in regards to who they are is so outrageous, they can't get it together. They can't pay for it. Basically, the karma. Karma cost. Karma cost. And if you're going to amass or place yourself in a space to where karma needs to be rendered or paid for, you better make sure that you have all of the energy and the time to pay back that karma. And they don't. They spent their time and energy and money willy-nilly. And now when it's time to pay the piper, which is karma, they can't pay it. So since they can't pay, something in my eye, since they can't pay for their karma, but they know that you could pay for it, well, they're going to try to come towards you to get you to pay for their sins or their consequences of their actions. Hell nah. Hell nah. You said hell nah? Hell nah. Something in my eye, child. I'm sorry. Hell nah. It's a lash. Hell nah. I ain't paying for nobody karma. I ain't paying for nobody consequences. I ain't paying for nobody's sins. You got me all the way effed up. Okay, I got it. Hell nah. I ain't doing that. Nope. Could be a fire sign. You could be, they could be. Or this thing just whoosh, ablaze. Justice that you are getting. Now do you understand when I say you don't have to touch them? You don't have to touch them. Dirty MF is ill. You don't have to, but it will be playing out on social media. Make sure you got your best, your outfit, your hair done. You know what I mean? Make sure you get your best. Because, baby, the way this is played out on social media, they're going to be like, oh, my God. I mean, I'm so flabbergasted. Oh, my God. Again, they thought, first off, fair exchange ain't no robbery. And they thought they had a community of people that they can count on to speak about you and kumbaya and laugh and he and ha-ha around the fire about you. Oh, baby, social media is a bigger... They don't know. They had a community of people. You going to have the internet. That makes sense. The backing of the world behind you. Yeah, bruh. They don't know how to play this game, bruh. They don't know how to play this game. community of people, what, 10, 15, 20 people, okay, who cares? But when the world sees them, they ain't gonna be able to fight them off. They ain't gonna be able to fight them off. So again, just let them be. Just let them be. Just let them be. They can't get mad at you that social media is eating them up. And social media is going to eat them up because it's going to be everywhere. All the news, all the newspapers, and people still read that, and all the social media outlets, and etc., etc. They can't beat social media. And they thought coming up against you with a small cluster of people within a community was going to stop you from bringing this to social media. There are many ways to do one thing. I'm going to keep saying it. There are many ways to do one thing. And correct me if I'm wrong here. These individuals may not have used social media. Again, if it don't resonate, then hey, okay? Take it how it resonates. Narcissistic individuals may tend not to use social media, and if they do, I'll try to spend as much as I can. So for the ones dealing with narcissistic individuals that tend to not utilize social media because they want to make sure that their image is preserved in a certain way, it's controlled. Social media, once it's out there, you can't really control it. Once a video is out, once a reel, once something is out, you can't really control it. But more so in a controlled environment of this community, they have more control over that versus social media. So again, take it how it resonates, of course. I think most narcissistic people, they may have social media, but they don't use it in a certain way because they want to keep control of their dynamic of how people see them. And because they can't with social media, because everyone is learning who they are, they can't handle that bandwidth. And we all know how social media could be. Very, very, very brutal at times, especially if it's something negative and disliked. Baby, they're not coming up off of them. That's why they try to shut your social media down and try to shut down your social channels, because they knew that if it got out, more and more and more people will see it. And more people will realize, like, wow, something not right with that person, and they didn't need that. They don't want that. Hey, fair exchange ain't no robbery. Don't talk bad about me behind the scenes in a cluster of community of CUNTs and then get upset when I bring it to social media. Again, there is no rules to this thing called the game. It's not. That flew right out. Alive. Yeah, social media is alive and well. They're going to eat them alive. They're going to eat them alive. They're going to eat them alive. And the first thing they're going to do when people see who this is, this narcissistic group, they're going to shut down their social media. They're going to hide their pages. They're going to privatize their pages. Hell, they may get off social media just altogether. Wimps. Because, baby, it's going to travel. I'm telling you. It's going to travel. This couple, whoever this couple is, it could be a mother and father, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a sister, a brother. Who else? It could be an ex-spouse, ex-lover, their spouse, their lover. However it resonates. But baby, this couple's going to get the time that they wanted. I mean, hey, they wanted the attention, right? They wanted the attention, right? So they got it. You got to be careful what you ask for. Hey, it is what it is. And because of that, because they can't handle it, now this part's serious, if that makes sense, is giving Bonnie and Clyde. Pre-transition, I can't put this word up, but if you catch my drift, if y'all don't know what pre-transition is when someone takes matter into their own hands surrounding themselves. They delete themselves. I can't put this card up. It's just too much going on in this card, but that's what that card is. And this couple is going to do that. They're going to delete themselves, if that makes sense. Because they can't handle you getting justice on social media. And social media is going to eat them alive. Okay. Yep, they're going to go missing. This CUNT, the group of CUNTs are going to hide themselves. And then, you know, delete themselves. Got to be careful what you wish for. And it could be through inebriation of things. Certain cards I can't put on here. It's saying, I'll put it this way, inebriation or paraphernalia. That's what I can say, but I can't put that on here. But that's what's on here. It's too explicit. Damn. Yeah. So it say, okay. It says assassination. And then surveillance. They're going to be surveilled by social media because social media is going to eat them alive. Social media is going to eat them alive. Because of all the perversion things that they were doing. Yeah. People finding out that's what they did. A crime of passion is here. Well, they wanted 15 minutes of shame and they got it. So what's the issue? Regret is funny. Family is in regret. Runaway is in reverse. They could run away from the world. They can't run away from the internet. Even if they were to go and hide it, they still can't run away. Like, for instance, George Zimmerman, whatever that person's name is, child. After what he done to that young fella, his life is in shambles, baby. All due to social media. That's a perfect example. He was a part of a crime of passion of, you know, the young fella with the candy and the juice down in Florida. Social media surveillanced him. Yes, they did. They ate his ass alive while he was alive. And he can't get a job. He can't get a home. He can't get anything. He thought it was sweet. When all took place, what took place. He thought shit was sweet. And it was not. Yeah, George Zimmerman ain't doing good. And George Zimmerman, he gonna delete himself too. I saw that. Oh yeah, I saw it. It's just certain things I just don't say. But I was like, oh, okay. But that's well deserved. I'm sorry, but I'm not. That was well deserved. Because you can't be out here doing things like that to other people and think that there's no consequences. That wasn't cool the way he did that to that child. That was a baby. You can't do that. So he got what he deserved. So we have jail here, and that's where they're going. Because social media is going to make them feel like they're in jail. Oh, absolutely. So if you thought they got away with it, they did not. Trust me on that. They did not. Could be a Leo. You could be a Leo. They could be a Leo. However it resonates. That was very impulsive. Thief. They thought they can take from you. They thought they can take your independence from you. They thought they can take. They thought they can take the self-control away from you. Thank you. And they could not. You could be an Aquarius. They could be an Aquarius, or we are in Aquarius season. So however it resonates. And we have justice. Justice came out twice. Yeah, you get some strong justice. You could be a Gemini. They could be. However it resonates. That's going through a lot of changes in a good way. That they cannot rival against. They cannot beat the world. They can't. They can't beat the world. They can try, but they can't. And this is what they're coming to realization. Spiritual awakening. They can't beat the world. Happy birthday, Lois. So now they're suffering in silence. Well, don't cause harm to others. Unable to express emotion, they burnt out. Well, okay, Sarah, what will be, will be. Okay, Sarah, what will be, will be. I'm going to keep saying it. It don't pay to hate others. Because hating another person comes at a hefty price that most people can't pay. With the hate that they chose to use. It doesn't pay to hate others. You ain't got to do that. They're learning. We have Leo. Capricorn. Capricorn. Sag. Libra. Sag. Capricorn. Shit, strong Sag. Strong Leo, strong Capricorn. All right, Cancer. Capricorn. Taurus. Scorpio. Libra. Gemini. Well, if that resonates with you guys, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to grab this copy of this book, Wisdom Beyond Wounds, readily available for purchase on Amazon. Come join us in the group on Facebook. It's also called Wisdom Beyond Wounds. What else is there? Don't forget to add me. Come on over. If y'all on TikTok and Instagram, come on over to YouTube, okay? That's my main hub. Come to YouTube. Because sometimes I'll post on YouTube and I won't post on Instagram and TikTok. So make sure you follow me on all of my social media outlets. The AfroZen 8888. Okay? Love you guys. Go out there, be freaking great. Again, you are here to thrive, not survive. You're here to thrive and not survive. Go out there, serve your purpose, whatever your purpose is, and be the best great person that I know that you can be. Go out there and make a difference for yourself and others, okay? Love you guys. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Mwah. Love, love, love to you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah. Love to you guys.